Our country is under siege. The left has been building up its war footing for 40 plus years. They, like Hitler, have quietly incubated an incredible opposition force, all under the name of peace. They, like Hitler, call themselves at one point the Democratic Socialists. Now it's become the progressive left. Unlike the things that we faced in past wars, there's very little violence. Instead, we're dealing with a forefront war based on politics, law, economics, and propaganda. It's unlike anything the American public has ever witnessed or has been prepared to fight. When it comes to lethal strikes like groups from Al-Qaeda, ISIS, the American public can respond well. They're prepared for that sort of lethal and kinetic action on our soil. We rally to arms, we do things well. But when it comes to the type of warfare that the left has instituted, part of the cultural war that began in the 60s, and with terrorists that built the plans like Angela Davis, Saul Alinsky, Bill Ayers, these folks, pure enemies of the state. They've come up with an insidious way to fight. But it's the modern warfare. It's called fourth dimension warfare. Tonight, in the news today, was Steve Bannon resigning, not being fired, but resigning at will from the United States position under President Trump. If you follow what he said, Steve Bannon has declared war, and we're following with him. The American brand, as of today, is going onto a full war footing, and we are going to need volunteers. This is no longer a game, and it's not just a social media enjoyment. This is a serious action that we are asking people to commit to, and we're going to need volunteers. All actions that we will do going forward with the American brand will be peaceful and legal. All actions, again, as it will say, will be peaceful and will be legal. However, we are going to need mass volunteers to mobilize this army. We are in a fight for our life for this country. The left right now has an upper hand, and the situation is daunting. We've been revealed, we have a president who has managed to pull back the curtain to see the depth of the corruption that we face. We find now that most of our politicians in D.C. are corrupt. We find that have sold out to a globalist model and have aligned with the left. We find now that there is not a single CEO in this country that we know of that will denounce Antifa. Instead, they're trying to rally and make an anti-fascist group whose pure basis is fascism to seem like they are the new heroes of the American Revolution. There's a full-on march to erase American history. And right now, they began with the Confederate history, and they're moving quickly to start to go after the monuments of George Washington, Jefferson, and ultimately dismantle the Constitution. Their vision is simple. They want to install a pure democracy, which in the end will be manipulated by the Blue Coast cities to control the country. They will cut out Middle America exclusively, and this move will be backed by the major corporations, backed by CEOs who have themselves sold out to the American principles. Our universities have become taxpayer-funded terrorist incubators. And I will say that again. Our universities have become taxpayer-funded terrorist incubators. We have a system that is fighting against and to destroy and dismantle the entire fabric of the values, the ethics, the faith, and the principle of a nation-state of the United States of America. This is no longer time to sit on the couch. And right now, as of tonight, the American brand is officially going to war. When we had the election, as we said many times during the Deplorables tour and under the Kilroy Rising PAC, we made it clear that November 8th was the first battle in a generational fight. We anticipated a countermove. We did not anticipate the magnitude or the rapidity, the speed at which this countermove came. What we're seeing now is the depth of organization that was incubated under 8 years of an insurgent presidency led by the former President Hussein Obama, and would have been executed almost instantly had the traitor Hillary Clinton taken office. I'm going to be very clear on the words that I'm saying tonight. All of these are intentional, and I'm very clear about it. Anybody in our political realm who has not denounced Antifa is now considered a terrorist to the state of the United States and a traitor. That includes politicians, that includes people in corporate centers, that includes people and citizens across this country. Antifa is a terrorist fascist organization and is the shock arm of the left. Our country is under siege and is being quickly and rapidly dismantled and torn apart at the seams. The attempt is to pit the people against each other, to dismantle the history, and doing basically a blitzkrieg attack emotionally on the public, while the stealth operations of legal and political are moved into place, and then the economic mechanisms are finalized, the move to dismantle the United States right from underneath us. This can't happen, and we can't let it happen. So tonight, as we position ourselves to go to war, we're going to need volunteers. And we need serious volunteers. Starting late tonight and early tomorrow morning, you can go to our website and you will find areas very easily where you can submit your name to volunteer. All information will be kept confidential. And I won't kid you that there's going to be some risk in this. Everything that we will do will be done legally and with passive but aggressive passive action. Our need right now is to be able to mobilize cells across this country that are independently developed and can perform unified action on a whim. That means we need central components of information hubs, and one of which right now is Facebook, but you can anticipate this will be shut down. Our home page, our home website, theamericanbrand.org, will continue to be a critical pivot point for all information distribution, being that it is not on a social media platform, that it's separate from those. We're going to be independent of those sort of censorship actions that will be guaranteed to come. We'll be discussing many details in the weeks to come and processes of how to set this up in place. For now, our call out is for volunteers. We need you to step up. As veterans, we've made our commitment to this country, not once, but many times over. When we swore an oath to this country, we didn't swear an oath for the time of service, we swore an oath to life, to protect and defend. And now we're here again. And now we need you to be part of this. This is a citizen-based action at local levels. We're going to need organizers to organize local American brand cells across this country. We need people to do fundraising that are good at it. Calling, door knocking, whatever it takes, because an army, as we now have, a citizens-based army, is going to need funding. And in order to fight this fight, we have to mobilize resources. We're going to need lawyers. And if you know lawyers that would be willing, that are conservative and be willing to get behind this, get them in touch with us or have them get in touch with us directly. We're going to need ground soldiers. Ground soldiers are going to be critical. It means people out doing the actions. Our primary tasking, which we've set before already, is to continue the documentation for the preservation of Confederate monuments. We've had some amazing actions performed so far, including the work done by Jeremy Allen and Matt up in Great Falls and their team that they've organized and are continuing to build a stronghold out of Great Falls to penetrate down into Helena, Missoula, and ultimately into Bozeman. We need to create strong points. That means you need to create local cells. This is not going to be easy. And you can't be looking for somebody in special operations to come riding in on a great white horse to save you. We'll provide guidance through the digital means that we have, and you need to build your cells and reach out to us for guidance until we can get you a direct support in time. But we run a very small cell unit ourselves, and we're going to be stretched very thin. But right now, this is how actions are done. The American brand does not have a massive following, and I'm candid about that. But one thing that we do have that has stunned everybody I've talked about is a very dedicated following, and that's what we seek. I would much rather have 3,000 dedicated people than 250,000 names. And right now, that's about where we sit. Our numbers continue to prove that everybody that's tuned into the American brand are highly motivated to tune into the programs. Now we have to take the next step. The fight for the nation is not going to be something we can pass on to a future generation. The fight for the nation rests with us, with this generation, with the knowledge we have, with the ability to organize and bring people together. That means action now, and that means local action. The media is going to continue to try to spin your thoughts into the big strategic issues. They're going to try to get you to worry about North Korea. They're going to try to get you to worry about Afghanistan. They're going to try to get you to worry about if your son or daughter is in the military, that they're going to go to war. They're going to try to get you to worry about the collapse of the stock market. They're going to try to get you to worry that President Trump is going to be ousted. All of those things are irrelevant. You have no control over them. Right now, you need to get a tactical mindset. That means this, while there is a strategic picture out there, the tactical mindset is staying focused locally in the targets that are within your grasp and things that you can handle and respond to. You basically have to ignore the noise. This is what it's going to require. It's going to require diligence every single day. And it's going to require that you organize, communicate, and build community and people that you can trust and vet. Local actions. Local actions are going to be the key to this. We can control the local politics. We can control the county politics. And the more that the local and the county begin to work together, we create a tsunami of action that will shake the world. To give you an idea how rapidly the left is moving, Kate Brown, who's the governor of Oregon right now, is moving illegally to pass measures behind closed doors to start changing county structures to remove the power of the sheriffs so that the sheriffs no longer have county control but must report to the state. This is how fearful the left is. They're afraid, and they're trying to move quickly to seize power in the noise that's happening around the dismantling of the monuments. Don't kid yourself. These actions have been well coordinated, but they know that if they don't move fast, they're going to be caught and be stopped. We have to be the force that stops. Now, Steve Bannon mentioned today that he built a monster of an organization. He did. The American brand doesn't match what Breitbart has, but the American brand has something bigger and more effective than Breitbart, and that is that we have people on the ground that can work and develop this. We're going to need to have people that are daily observing, whether it's in the news, local news, or whether it's in your local area or out on the ground. We need people to collect intelligence. Gather that intelligence, and we need to be pushing it back to the American brand. We need people to go out and door knock, to get people involved, to wake them up, to inform them. We need people to help raise money and funds for this mass movement that we're going to be doing. We need people to be reaching out to small business, to get more and more names listed on our small business programs so that we can start making economic choices, not to have to shop through the super corporations or through the Amazon platforms. We need cell organizers, and we need ground soldiers. The talents that we need are immense, and that's why we're asking you to start submitting your name and what you can do. This is a time now when your country's calling for you. Not the American brand, but your country. Americans like winners. Americans don't tolerate losers. And we've never lost when we put our mind to it. Now is the time for us to step up and honor what the greatest generation did, because we are now the next greatest hope. Don't kid yourself. People have been saying all week long in my comparison to the work that we're doing for preserving the Confederate monuments that this sounds like World War II. This is the next war, and it is a global war. It's just not taking the shape of kinetics, bombs, and soldiers coming back in body bags. This is taking the shape of destroying people through the mind, through the emotions, and tearing you apart so that your will is broken and you capitulate to the enemy and give them victory without a single shot. We don't have time for that anymore, and we don't have tolerance for it anymore. For those of you of deep faith that are wondering whether this is a correct action, I remind you of righteous indignation. Jerry Falwell today referred to all the actions of the liberals as attacks by Satan. I'll put it in different terms. You need to pull within you this aspects of righteous indignation. You need to start realizing that it's time. That it is not that you're judging another person, but that you are preserving the faith and the values that were installed in this Constitution in the Christian, Judeo-ethnic Christian values. They were installed in our Constitution. You're going to war for that. And there's nothing greater than that. It is time that we rally, time to mobilize, and time to get active. Now, in the coming days, there will be an increasing amount of material available on the website, guidance sheets, and so forth. These are going to be available once you sign up. Now, I'm going to be clear. There's going to be attempts to infiltrate. The left is going to attempt to disrupt. But we are doing nonviolent actions to protest this, to acquire higher ground through nonviolent actions. For those of you that feel like it's time to go to guns, let me explain something. When you go to lethal action, the only thing you do is feed into the enemy's narrative. Lethal action solves nothing, and it's the last resort. There's been too many movies in Hollywood trying to depict that the way warfare is done, especially with special operations, is all they do is shoot people in the face and the head. That's far from the truth. Special Forces actions that deal with guerrilla-type warfare are probably 90% non-kinetic. That means engagements, organizing, doing this sort of thing, getting people involved in intelligence collection, observation, and only in that last 10% do you end up approaching something that approaches lethal action. And even then, it's highly selective and very precise. We're not at that point, nor do we hope we ever are. We want the enemy to start revealing themselves and showing themselves more and more for what they are. Antifa, La Raza, Black Lives Matter, domestic terrorist organizations that are running under the narrative cover of our mainstream media and our politicians, our universities, and our corporate elites that are giving them the right to siege and ultimately seek to have an elimination of the European roots and the white ancestry. That's another form, another nice way of saying genocide. We're seeing a historical genocide trying to take place right now. It's time to take action. So we need you to reach out to theamericanbrand.org, theamericanbrand.org. And until we get everything up in place, just go to the contact page, find it at the top, send us your name, send us your number, or whatever comfort details you have for contact. Email's fine, and let's get going. We need an American Brand cell in every small town and city across this country. And it's going to depend on people working together, organizing, and taking action. It's that simple. This is a fight for the country, folks. And we're reaching out to you as the followers of the American Brand to help lead the fight. What you can be assured of is as we grow this, there will be many more to follow. But the hardest thing ever to do is to get this sort of action started. Our founding fathers faced the same challenge, and now we're asking you to follow in the footsteps of our founding fathers. Organize. Keep yourselves tight. Start organizing locally. Start talking. Make sure you all have copies of the Constitution. Make sure you're all connected with the American Brand. And stay tuned for more broadcasts, because there'll be many more to come with guidance and instructions of how to follow. For now, begin organizing and reach out to us so we can start identifying where the cells are, and we need volunteers. Remember, organizers and foot soldiers, we need them both. And if you don't feel you're equipped to organize, let us know what your talents are, and there's a use for every single person in this fight. And believe me, most all of you have talents you have not even imagined you have. We'll help you find them, and for the glory of our country, raise you up to be part of the greatest movement in our history. We are fighting for the life of the nation, and we will win. That's all for now this evening. Remember, theamericanbrand.org. We look forward to hearing from you, and we have to get involved. You have to get involved. Spend time with your family. Talk about the things that matter. We are now in a fight for the life of our country, for your children and their children's children and the future generations. The burden of that fight rests on all of us. This is not an alarmist statement, it's fact. And our time is running out. Spend time with your family, say hello to your neighbor, and God bless. And most importantly, God bless this great nation. Out for now.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So But getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So, anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month if you can. I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.